Excellent. So we're starting standing, feet together. I'm just going to shut the door. Turning toes out, followed by heels. So feet tracking straight and parallel to each other. Soft through the knees, hips facing forward, shoulders round and down, and ears over the shoulders. Placing the hands on the hips, we're just going to rock that pelvis forward, flattening through the back, and slide the pelvis back and feel the arching. Good. One more time. Rocking the pelvis forward and back and finding the halfway point between the two. Nice neutral spine. Thinking about that deep lateral breathing. So nice deep breath in through the nose. Feel the rib cage expanding and out through the mouth. And while we continue with the deep lateral breathing, I want you to imagine that belt around your waist, drawing the sides towards each other and pulling the belly button back towards the spine. And at the same time, feel those pelvic floor muscles like a lift coming up. 1, 2, 3. So tightness through the whole abdominal core region, but you can keep with that deep lateral breathing. Relaxing the arms down by your side, and we'll start with those forward shoulder rolls. Nice big rolls, releasing any tightness in those shoulders. One more time forward, and then we're going to reverse up to the ears, over the mountain, and down the other side. Good. Squeezing those shoulder blades together at the back. And one more time, sliding the shoulder blades down the back, keeping them locked down the back. We're going to float the arms out to the side, reach the hands up towards the ceiling. We're going to hold it here. We're going to shrug the shoulders up to the ears, draw the shoulders down the back. One more time. In breath, reach to the ceiling. Out breath, drawing the shoulder blades down the back. Push the air away as we bring the arms back down. Good. In breath, floating the arms out to the side, locking the shoulders down the back as we reach the arms to the ceiling. Palms facing away from you. We're going to go left arm forward, right arm back. Circle all the way around. So one arm's going forward and one arm's going back. Good. 3 times. And then we're going to change arms. So we're going to go right arm forward, left arm back. Good. And forward and back. Good. And last one. Back up to the ceiling. We're going to sweep the arms back, interlock the fingers, turn them inside out, squeeze those shoulder blades together as we lift the hands up away from the glutes. So you're feeling that lovely stretch through the front of your chest. We're going to take hold of the right wrist now. Same movement where you're pulling the left arm across to the right and lifting away. And then we're going to drop the right ear to right shoulder. So opposite arm, you're going to drop the ear the opposite way to the arm that's been pulled back. Good. Back to the center. Change the grip. So grab hold of the right wrist, pull the wrist to the left, and then we're taking the head over to the left. Good. And relax. Center the head. Shrug those shoulders off. We're just going to drop the left ear to left shoulder, chin to chest, rubbing the chin along the chest, trying not to tip forward with the upper body, ending right ear over right shoulder. And again, chin to chest. Feel the stretching, so nice and slow through the back of the neck. Left ear to left shoulder and coming back up to the center again. We're going to take right arm up, left arm down. Lengthening through the waist and over into the left side bend. If you're feeling it in your back, bend those knees. Good. Reaching the right arm over the top. In breath to center and changing arms. Again, lengthen through the waist and over into the right side bend. Good. And coming back to the center again. We're just going to do a roll down. So drawing the belly button to spine, Keep the knees soft. We're going to drop the chin to chest. We're peeling the vertebra one at a time off the wall behind you. Arms hanging, head hanging, letting the crown of the head weight you down all the way to the floor. We're just waking up that vertebra. Hold it down here. Let your head hang, shoulders down your back. Deep breath in. As we breathe out, we're going to scoop belly button to spine. We're rounding back up, stacking that spine. Roll the shoulders back and crown of the head to the ceiling. Brilliant. So grabbing your balls now. We're coming into the squats. If you have a spare wall behind you and you struggle with the squats, you can place the ball into your lumbar spine and do the squats running the ball down the wall. That just takes a little bit of pressure off the knees. But I get it, not many of us have walls that don't have stuff on. So in which case, just don't go too low down. We're taking the legs about shoulder width apart, holding the ball in front of you. We're going to take the glutes down towards the heels. So we're not sticking our bottoms out, down towards the heels. Keep lifted through the upper body, and then we're pushing back up and up to the ceiling. Good. In breath to squat. Out breath, push back up. Good. As you squat now, try and keep drawing the knees towards each other and push back up. Good. We're squatting down. This time we're going to hold it and we're going to pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pushing back up to the ceiling. Good. We're squatting for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and push back up to the ceiling. We're going to take the legs a little wider now, lunging to the right, touch the ball in front of the foot, and then we're going to push and reach up to the left. Good. We're only doing 2 times to each side. Lunge to the right, reach, and push up to the left, back to the center, changing legs, lunge to the left, touch down at the floor, and reach and push to the right. Good. In breath, touch the floor, out breath, reach and push back to the center. Now we're going to do a full circle. We're going to start over to the right lunge. Run the ball along the floor as we squat. Left lunge and ceiling. One more time. To the right. Center. Left lunge and ceiling. We're changing direction. Left lunge. Squat. Into the right lunge and ceiling. Good. Left lunge. Squat. Right lunge and ceiling. Excellent. We're going to circle around the thoracic body. So closing the legs back to hip width apart. Keep the knees soft. Over into the left side bend. Round the thoracic back. The ball comes to your knees. Over to the right and back up to the ceiling. Good. So over to the left, keep the knees soft, rounding through the thoracic back, right side bend and ceiling. We're changing direction, so over into the right side bend, round through the thoracic back, left and ceiling. One more time. We're just opening up through that back, warming up the spine, stretching out through the side and back up to the ceiling. We can just place the ball onto the floor. We're just going to do one more with the lunges, but we're going to hold it, so it's going to be a static one. Legs nice and wide again, wider than shoulder width. We're going to lunge to the right, Place the hand on the floor if you can. You want to be feeling a pull down that left inner thigh. And then we're going to reach the left arm up to the ceiling. Good. If you're not feeling it down the inner thigh, take that left leg wider. Good. Back up to standing. We're going to go over into the left side lunge. Hand to the floor. Reach the right arm up to the top. Good. And coming back up to standing again. We all warmed up. We're going to close those feet back up together. Standing at the end of the mat. Have the mat rolling away in front of you. We're going to come down into the roll down. So scooping belly button to spine. We're dropping chin to the chest. And we're starting to come down one vertebra at a time. Arms hanging, head hanging. Just let the crown of the head weight you down as you articulate through each vertebra joint. We're going to either hook the hands under the toes or flat on the floor. Head hanging, shoulders down the back. We're straightening through the right knee for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And soften through the left knee for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And soften. We're straightening through both knees, head hanging down, shoulders down the back, breathing through that stretch. And then we're going to bend the knees and we're going to come down onto all fours. So wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Make sure the inside of your elbow joints are facing towards each other. So not that they're pushing forward. And we're going into the cat stretch. So when you're ready, on the in-breath, we're rounding thoracic back up to the ceiling. On the out-breath, lengthen tail and crown. Draw the belly button to spine. Feed on through into that back extension. Good. In-breath, rounding thoracic back up to the ceiling. On the out-breath, lengthen tail and crown, and again into that back extension, just a nice gentle stretch through the back. We're just going to flex the back off. So on the in-breath, we're rounding thoracic back up to the ceiling and coming back to your neutral spine position. Keeping that belly button pulled up into the spine. We're going to slide the right leg back, tuck the right toe underneath you, push that right heel down to the floor. And we're holding that stretch. Should be feeling it through the calf there. If not, push back through the heel for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and sliding that right leg in. Good. We're sliding the left leg back. Tuck that left toe underneath you. Push back through the hands. Heel to the floor. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and sliding that left knee back in again. Good. So into the hip drops, we're going to drop both hips over to the left, looking at your feet over your right shoulder. In breath to center, and then dropping the hips over to the right. So we're just loosening off the lower back here. Maybe getting a bit of a stretch through that IT band down the outside of the thigh. Good. Each time we're just going to drop a little bit lower. We're doing the last one now to the right. Come back to the center. We'll just sit back on our heels, head down to the floor. Good. And just stretching out through the back. We're rounding back up and stacking the spine. We're going to grab our balls now. Come back right to the back of the, about have the ball in the middle of the mat. We're going to lie over the ball so that the feet are on the mat and the hands are underneath the shoulders. Good. So remember, scoop that belly button to spine so that we're rounding through that back a little bit, trying to take the weight off the ball slightly. Keep the back of the head in line with the spine. We're pointing through the right toe. We're reaching the right leg back as we lift up to hip height. Good. Lower the right leg back down and tuck the toe underneath. Good. Left toe pointing. Reach the leg back. Remember, we're trying to hit that light switch behind you. Good. Lower back down and sliding back underneath. Right toe pointing, reaching it back as we lift it up. We're going to take the right leg out to the side, back to the center, lower back down and sliding back in. We're pointing through the left toe, reaching it back as we take it up. Take it to the side, back to the center and lower back down. We're working leg and arm now. So right leg back, left arm forward. We're reaching forward and back. Keep the belly button lifted away from the mat. Lower back down and sliding back in. Good. We're doing right arm, left leg. Now, if you feel the balance is a bit wobbly, what you can do then is maybe lift the leg, and then when you feel ready, lift the arm up. Lower back down and sliding back in. But the most important thing is to think about that neutral spine position. Right leg, left arm, reaching forward and back. Now, if you want to progress it, we're going to take it out to the side. If you're feeling a bit wobbly with the straight forward and back, then just keep going, keeping it straight. Center back up, lower back down, and slide back in. Right arm, left leg, reaching forward and back, taking it out to the side, back to the center, lower back down, slide the toe back underneath. We can just round over the ball for a second, give it a hug, just loosen that lower back off. Deep breath in and out, and we're coming back onto leaning over the ball, arms underneath the shoulders. We're pointing through the right leg. We're reaching the leg back as we take it up. We're heel kicking, so right heel kick to the glutes, lift the knee up and lengthen the leg away again. Good. So for 9, heel kick, lift and lengthen. 8, heel kick, lift and lengthen. 7, heel kick, lift and lengthen. For 6, lift and lengthen. 5, lift and lengthen. 4, lift and lengthen. For 3, lift and lengthen. For 2, remember, keep your belly button lifted away from the ball. Last one of this, lift and lengthen. We're bending the knee, flex through the foot. Take the foot up to the ceiling, so we're engaging those glutes and we're pulsing it up. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lengthen the leg away, lower back down and tuck that toe back underneath. Good. Left leg pointing, reach it back as you take the leg up to hip height. Bend the knee to heel kick, lift the knee and lengthen away. Good. For 9, lift and lengthen. 8, lift and lengthen. Keep the neutral spine and lengthen. Good. For 6, lift and lengthen. For 5, lift and lengthen. Good. For 4, check the shoulders are down your back. For 3, back of the head in line with the spine. Good. 2 more. lift and lengthen. Last one of this, heel kick, lift and lengthen. We're bending the knee, flex the foot, take the foot to the ceiling, and we're pulsing up here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, lengthen the leg away, lower back down, tuck the toe underneath, give the ball a hug, rocking from side to side. Good. Coming back onto the knees, and we're going into the plank on the ball. I think we did do this last week, I'm pretty sure. Just to talk through it, you can do it on the floor, on your forearms, if it's too uncomfortable on the ball. We're going to push the ball forward, keeping the back straight, so we're not arching through the back. Keep it lifted. Tuck the toes underneath you, and we're coming up into the plank position. Good. And again, keep the belly button lifted to spine. We're going to lower back down. Deep breath in and out, and we're pushing back up again. Good. 4, 3, the shoulders down the back, and we're lowering back down. Now, if you feel that I'm going to talk now because it's a bit hard when we're up in the plank. If you feel like this is quite easy for you, then you can start to roll the ball forward and back while you're in the plank position, just in case you want to make it a bit harder. So we're going to hold it longer. We're pushing up into the plank position. And again, if you want to make it a bit harder, we can push the ball slightly away and drawing it back in. And we're going to hold it here. If you feel it in your back, lift up through that belly button for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the knees back down. Excellent work. Sit back on your heels. Keep the hands on top of the ball. Drop the head down between your knees. Just roll the ball or rock the ball from side to side. A nice deep breath in and out. Good. And we're rounding back up, stacking that spine. Excellent job. And I meant to say, if you've got a cushion or pillow, we're going to grab that now. Grab my block. We're going to start on our left side, lying on our left side with the block or pillow underneath our heads. The knees are bent. Hips are stacked, shoulders are stacked, arms straight out and feet in front of us. And obviously the feet are stacked on top of each other as well. Okay, so on in-breath, we're taking that top arm up to the ceiling. Keep the space between the ear and shoulder. Push that top hip forward as we open the book out, chest to the ceiling. Holding that stretch. Again, if it feels too uncomfortable or too strong, place the hand on the shoulder and drop the elbow back. And then we're drawing that arm back up and closing the book up. Good. On the in-breath, arm to the ceiling. Push that top hip forward. Follow the hand with the head. We're going to draw the chalk circle. So we're going to start coming down over the legs, crossing over the open hand, trying to keep the hand to the floor as much as possible, into the open book, and then we're drawing that arm back up and over again. Good. On the in-breath, arm to the ceiling, push that top hip forward, follow the hand with the head. We're drawing the chalk circle, so we're coming up above the head first this time. Coming down over the open hand, over the legs, pushing the hips forward, back into the open book position. And then we're drawing the arm back up and closing the book up. Brilliant. So sliding the block away, we're coming up onto our elbows. And we're going to fold the mat over a couple of times at the top and then place the elbow onto the fold, making sure the elbow is underneath your shoulder. Good. Lift the waist up away from the mat. Remember, we want to have that little candle burning underneath your waist. So we're not slouching, we're keeping lifted. Top arm up to the ceiling. Good. So pushing the hips forward, we're opening the arm back, chest to the ceiling. Holding that stretch, and then we're bringing the arm round, palm down. We're feeding through the gap, and we're creeping those fingers away from you. Good. Arm back up to the ceiling. We're going to lift the hips up off the floor now. Keep the shoulder down. Now, if this feels too much for you, then just keep going with the thread and needle as we were doing, leaving the hips on the floor. So we're lifting those hips up and we're going to feed the hand through the gap. It doesn't need to come to the floor this time. And back up to the ceiling and lower the hips back down. Good. Now, if you want to progress it, you can take those legs longer. The top leg comes over the bottom leg, so you've got your little fishtail feet. And we're going to push back up. This time we're going to hold it up here as we feed through the gap and back up to the ceiling. Keep making sure the elbow's underneath the shoulder. We're feeding through for 2 and back up. We've got 3 more. Remember, lifting the waist up away from the mat as much as possible. 2 more. Feed through and up. Good. Last one. Feed through and up. Good. We're going to lower back down, straighten the mat away. We're just going to pop down onto our elbow and catch hold of your right ankle. We're just going to have a nice quad stretch here. Slide the right knee back. Good. Feeling that nice stretch down through the front of the quad there for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lengthen that leg away. Excellent. So grab your blocks. We're going to come up to sitting. Place your block on the other side. Obviously, just give your shoulders a bit of a roll. Just kind of move those arms a bit. Loosen those shoulders off. We're going to come down to lying on your right side. Head on your pillow. Arms straight out in front of you. Feet, knees, hips, shoulders all stacked. Pushing that top hip forward, we're going to take the top arm up to the ceiling. Follow the hand with the head as you push the top hip forward. Breathing through the stretch, and then we're closing that book back up again. Good. On the in-breath, arm to the ceiling, push that top hip forward, follow the hand with the head. We're drawing the chalk circles. So we're coming down over the legs, keeping the hand on the floor as much as possible over the open hand, back into the open book position, following the hand with the head, and then we're drawing that arm back up and over again. Good. On the in-breath, arm to the ceiling, push that top hip forward, follow the hand with the head. We're drawing the chalk circle, but we're coming up above the head first, crossing over the open hand, down over the legs into your open book position, and then we're drawing the arm back up and over again. Brilliant. So sliding the blocker or pillow away, come onto your elbow. We're folding the mat over. Of course, if you've got a very thick mat, you might not need to fold it over. We'll place the elbow underneath that shoulder, so make sure that shoulder's protected. Waist lifted away, and remember, keep the neck lengthened, so not pulled to the left shoulder nor dropping down to the right, just nice and long and in line with your spine. top arm up to the ceiling. Good. Pushing that top hip forward. We're opening the arm back, chest to the ceiling. And then we're bringing the arm round, palm down, feet through the gap, creep those fingers away. We're holding the stretch for a nice deep breath in and out. Good. Arm back up to the ceiling again. Good. So again, if you're uncomfortable through the shoulder, if you have shoulder pain, keep doing that one. We're going to lift those hips up. Remember, we're rounding over the barrel. We're feeding the arm through the gap and back up to the ceiling again. We're lowering back down, and now if you want to increase it, we can lengthen those legs away. Top leg in front of the bottom. We're pushing back up again, and we're going for 5. So we're feeding through and back up. Good. Keep that waist lifted for 4 and up for 3 and up. This is great for those lovely love handles. For 2, we're really working those oblique muscles. Last one. Back up again. We're going to come back down to the mat. Roll the mat away if you've got it folded. Just come down to lying on your elbow. Catch hold of your left ankle. Heel to the glutes. Sliding the knee back. So we're getting that stretch through the front of the quad. And we're just holding that for 10, or keep increasing it if you can. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Keep sliding the knee back for 3, 2, 1. And give that leg a shake off. Brilliant. So coming up to sitting, having the balls fairly handy, because we'll need them when we come down. Knees and feet are bent. The knees and feet, no, just the knees and feet are bent. The feet are hip width apart, stacking the spine and arms out in front. We're just doing the roll back C curve, so we're not coming all the way to the floor. We want to make sure we're engaging our core, and we want to make sure we're C curving that back. If we have lumbar issues and the back doesn't curve and we come straight down, I don't want you going too low. Okay, so when you're ready, on the in-breath, we're drawing the belly button to spine. We're C-curving that back. We're going to hold it here. Check there's no tension in the shoulders. Make sure we're not squeezing those shoulder blades together. We want to keep them open. And we're rolling back up and stacking that spine. Good. Drawing the belly button to spine. We're rolling back for the C curve. We're going to do the bow. So we're going to pull the left elbow back. Follow the elbow with the eyes. Center the arm and round back up. I want you to keep checking the belly button isn't popping up. So we're rolling back. Check the belly button is pulled down. Right elbow, pull it back. Follow the elbow with the eyes. Center and rolling back up. Now we're going to stay down to do both sides. So draw the belly button to spine. We're going to go right elbow back. Follow the eyes, the elbow with the eyes. Center. Left elbow back. Center. Round back up. And stack the spine. One more time. We're doing left elbow first. So draw the belly button to spine. We're going left elbow and center, right elbow and center, rounds back up and stack. Lengthen both legs away from you. Hinge from the hips. Grab hold of the toes if you can, otherwise ankles or calves, and pull yourself deeper into that stretch. Shoulders down the back. And this is such a lovely stretch for calves, any tight calves, hamstrings, and lower back. Good, and round and stacking that spine. So both arms back out in front of you. We're rolling all the way down to the mat this time. So we're drawing belly button to spine. Keep broad through the chest, and we're coming down lumbar, thoracic. Take the head down. Reach the arms over the top, back of the hands on the floor, feet hip width apart, flexing through the toes. And we're going to reach that left arm back. All four limbs stay on the floor. Nothing's getting lifted. We're reaching the left arm back. At the same time, we're lengthening that left leg away. So we're getting a completely lateral stretch down that left side. In breath to center, and then we're reaching right arm back and right leg. Good. And in breath to center. Good. One more time to each side. Left side, lengthening away. And center. Right arm, lengthen away. And center, and then I want you to just relax your back, your lumbar spine, as we relax all the limbs down into the floor, and see if that lumbar spine, that lower back will just melt into the floor slightly. Good. Okay, so we're going to grab our balls now. We're going to place them underneath our calves. So legs are over the balls sitting snugly underneath the hamstrings. Both arms are out to the side, palms to the ceiling. Good. So into our hip rolls now. So we're going to take both knees over to the right, controlling it through the core. Keep the belly button pulled to spine. Head goes to the left. And then take the lumbar spine to the mat as we center back up again. Good. We're taking both legs over to the left now. Head goes to the right. Good. And then control through the core as you take the lumbar spine back to the mat. Good. One more time to each side. We're taking both legs over to the right. Head goes to the left. Good. Coming back to the center. Excellent. All right, have we done, yeah. And then both legs over to the left. Head goes to the right. And then taking that lumbar spine back to the center again. Brilliant. So we're going to point through the left toe, take the left leg up to the ceiling. We're going to come up from the breastbone, so chin to chest. Take hold of that left leg. Draw the left leg towards your nose, shoulders down the back. Make sure you're not pulling up. We're using the core muscles to lift up the head. And then keep hold of that left leg as we increase the stretch by taking the head back down to the floor. And we're just going to start to point and flex through the toe. This is actually called a neural flossing. Actually just helps to, if you've got any sciatic nerve issues, this just helps to lengthen and release that sciatic nerve. Good. Two more times. Point and flex. Last one. Pointing and flex. And we're going to rest that left calf back over the ball as we point through the right toe. Take the right leg to the ceiling. Come up from the breastbone, chin to chest, so we're protecting our necks. Draw the leg towards your nose, shoulders down the back. Keep hold of the leg. We're increasing the stretch as we take the head back down to the floor. We're holding that leg, shoulders down the back, and we're going to start to point and flex through the foot. So if it does feel slightly nervy, this stretch, that's good, because that's what we're trying to do, is just trying to release any muscles that are tight and pinching on that nerve. Good, good. 3 more times. Point and flex. point, and flex. Last one, point, and flex. Good. We're placing that right calf back over the ball again. So arms relaxed by our side. The ball is still tucked in underneath our hamstrings. We're coming up into the shoulder bridge, and as we do so, we can let those legs lengthen slightly. So when you're ready, drawing the belly button to spine on the in-breath. On the out-breath, we're curling that pelvis up, peeling the vertebra one at a time, lengthening those legs away as we come up into the shoulder bridge position. Now push your calves down through the ball, or heels, whatever's over the ball. That's what keeps the ball stable. We're squeezing through those glutes, so you should be feeling those glutes. If not, lift the hips up a little bit. Fire those glutes up, but keep the rib cage down and make sure there's no tension through the neck and shoulders. They should be completely relaxed. And we're coming back down one vertebra at a time, keeping the pelvis curled up until the end. Good. One more time. Deep breath in. As we breathe out, we're curling that pelvis up, squeezing through the glutes, pushing forward through the front of the thighs, hips lifted, rib cage down. We're going to float the right and left arm up to the ceiling. Now, if that feels too much for you and you really start wobbling, do one arm and then change it, because we're going to lower the back all the way to the floor on the in-breath, and we're going to do a 6. So do 3 with one arm and then 3 with the other as we push back up again. Good. In breath to lower back down. Push the weight through the legs. That will help to keep you stable. Good. And lower. And we're pushing back up for 3. Good. And lower. And pushing those hips. Remember, the rib cage is staying down. It's just the hips and glutes we're firing up. We're lowering. We're pushing up. Remember, change your arms after the 3. Good. And last one, we're pushing up. We're staying lifted. Now we're going to drop the hips 2 centimeters, squeeze and lift back up. And we're speeding it up for 9 and lift. 8. If you're feeling it in the back, take that rib cage down. We're working those glutes. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and we're coming back down one vertebra at a time, keeping the pelvis curled up to the end. Place the feet on the front of the ball, hug those knees over your chest and rock from side to side and loosen that back off. And obviously we can take those knees as wide as your shoulders and just rocking. Good. And a nice stretch off there. Brilliant. Okay, so we're scooping the ball up now and place it into your hands. Legs are in tabletop and locking that lumbar spine down into the mat. Remember, that is the priority. Really, nothing else matters except that back staying down. You shouldn't have any gap between your back and the floor. We're going to toe tap the left leg, so out breath, we're toe tapping the left leg, in breath to center, out breath, right leg, into center, good. Left leg, lock the back down. Remember, if you want to work harder, take that leg longer, good. We're doing 5 to each side, and right leg, so we've got 2 more. Locking the back down for 4 and 4. Good. For 5 and 5 to the right. We're going to now take the right foot back down to the floor. Place the ball below the knee on the front of the thigh. So the ball is on the thigh, top thigh. Good, just below the knee. Push the knee back into the ball and resist with your hands. Okay, so the ball shouldn't be on the top of the knee. Yes, it's below but on the thigh. Okay, so the thigh's pushing into the ball. You're resisting with your hands, locking the back down. We're floating that right leg back up to tabletop. And we're toe tapping for 6. Now remember, keep the pressure on between the knee and the ball, and your hands, sorry. For 4, 3, for 2, and last one. Good. Place the ball over the shins and rock from side to side. I know it's a hard one, and really does fire that core up. Good. So we're going to place the left foot to the floor. The ball is on the top of the thigh. Push the thigh back into the ball. At the same time, you're resisting with the hands. Good. Keep the pressure on. That's the focus, is the pressure between the knee and the hands as we float the left leg up to tabletop, and we're toe tapping for 6 and 5. And obviously, to make it harder, put more pressure between the knee and the hands. For 3, for 2, lock that back down. Last one. Good. Hug those knees in. Excellent work. Ball over the shins and rocking from side to side. Good. Okay, so we're placing the ball in between the calves. Now we're squeezing the calves on the ball to keep it held there. Locking the back down, we're taking the legs straight up to the ceiling and then bending those knees again. Now, if it feels too strong through your back, take the ball out, do it without the ball. We're taking the legs up to the ceiling and we're going to squeeze on the ball and pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bend those knees. Good. We're taking the legs straight up. We're going to drop the ball, catch it into your hands, throw the ball up and catch between your legs. Good. We're going for 8 times. So 7, 6, 5, throwing and catching for 4, 3, 2, last one. Good. Hug the knees in. Excellent work, everyone. And just rocking again from side to side. Brilliant. So we'll place the ball or grab ball back on the floor. We're going to place the right calf over the ball. When it's not the calf, you're going to place the right foot onto the ball, hugging the left knee in, and then we're pushing the right leg away. So the heel is on the ball, hugging that left knee in. Put the weight through that right heel there, so we're keeping the ball still. Take your left hand, hook it underneath the left leg, the left knee, and we're taking the left leg out to the side. So the back of the hand is sort of opening that knee out to the side. Keep the pressure through the right leg. You don't want to be tipping over onto your left side, because otherwise we lose that inner thigh stretch there through the left leg. Bring the knee back to the center. Right hand crosses over the knee. We're taking the leg over to the right side this time and up towards your right shoulder. So you should be feeling it through sort of glutes, outside of the glutes, or even up the outside of that left thigh there. Good. Breathing through the stretch. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place that left ankle onto your right knee. Pull the ball back towards you. Keep that left knee wide and open in that 4 shape. If you want to increase it, you can then take the right leg off the ball and just pull that right leg up. And then we're going to roll ever so slightly onto the right side to increase that stretch slightly. Breathing through that. Lovely stretch. Good. Keep the pressure on that right leg, either pulling the ball into you a bit more or holding that right leg up. Good. Come back to the center. So we're placing the left foot onto the ball. Hug the right knee into your chest. Lengthen the left leg away and put the pressure through that left heel, keeping that ball still. Good. And then we'll hook the right arm underneath the knee, the right knee, and then open that right knee out to the side, to that right side. Good. Just feeling it through the inner thigh muscle there. Good. And then we're bringing the knee over to the left. So take hold of that with the left hand. Bring it over the front of you and then up towards that left shoulder. So we're pulling the knee as opposed to the ankle. Yeah, it's the knee that's coming over and up. Good. Keep the pressure on the ball so that you're not rolling completely onto your left side. Just breathing through that stretch. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place that right ankle onto the left knee. Either pull the ball back in or you can take that left leg up. Make sure that right leg stays nice and wide in that 4 shape. And then we're going to roll ever so slightly onto the left side. We're thinking of the length through the back of the neck. So remember, slide your chin to your chest slightly. Feel the lengthening through the back of the neck. Shoulders relaxed and down. And just keeping the pressure, so we're really feeling that stretch through the glute piriformis muscle, which can cause a lot of lower back discomfort. Good. For 3, 2, 1. We're centering back up again. Take both feet back down to the floor. We're rolling onto our sides now and slowly coming up to a kneeling position. With the ball in front of us, we're going to work on some back extension work. If you prefer to do it off the ball, by all means, you can just lie on your fronts to do it. So we're going to lean over the ball, but this time we're keeping the ball lower, so underneath our sort of abdominals there. And then we're going to tuck the toes underneath us and straighten those legs, taking them wide, so to the edges of the mat. But what we want to do is be free with our upper body away from the ball. So we want the ball a little bit lower, almost coming down towards the thighs. So I'll just talk through Nini. And so place the hands on the front of the ball. That's good. And just make sure that your chest, you can easily lift your chest up away from the ball. So keeping the hands on the front of the ball, we're going to drop the nose down towards the hands. We're going to lengthen, keeping the hands on the ball. We're lengthening through the back of the neck. Draw the shoulders down the back. Now think about lifting the front of the hips away from the ball. So you want to make sure you're keeping flatter through the back, not that you're shoving the hips down and then arching into that back. You want to keep those hips lifted. Good. And lower back down again, nose to the ball. This time on the out breath, we're bringing the hands either side of the shoulders. The elbows squeeze into the rib cage as you draw those shoulder blades together at the back. Remember, keep those hips lifted. And we're lowering back down again. Good. One more time. On the out breath, lengthen through the back of the neck, keeping the hips lifted. We're working these lower back muscles, really important. And lower back down. Now we're going to try placing the hands behind the head. If this feels too much for you, Go back to the hands either side of the shoulders. Hands behind the head. We're coming up. Obviously, there's no pressure through the hands. And then we're going to sweep the left arm back. Follow the hand with the head. In breath, place both hands behind the head. And then we're sweeping the right arm back. Follow the hand with the head. Good. We're going to do 3 times to each side. If you need to come down in between just to loosen the back off, that's fine. Back behind the head, and the right arm sweeps back. Follow the hand with the head. Good. Last time to each side. Left side. Keep the hips lifted off the ball. Right side. Hands behind the head, lower back down. We're going to come onto our knees. Close the knees and feet up. Sit back on your heels. Take the ball to the sides of the ball, and we're dropping the head down. We can roll, just rock the ball from side to side. Good. And then we're going to take the hands back on top of the ball, lift the glutes up away from your heels, walk the ball forward and drop the head down. So we're just slightly increasing that stretch through the lower back, all the way up the sides of the body, rock from side to side, sitting back on your heels and rounding back up. Brilliant. So legs out in a V. You worked really hard today. Well done. Legs out in the V. Flexion through the feet. We'll have the right hand on the ball. We're going to run the ball down the inner thigh of the right side. So we're pushing the ball down the inner thigh. We're bringing the left arm over the top into the side bend. Then we're going to reach the left arm up to the ceiling and feel lengthening through the neck. So you're bringing the neck back to the center. Place both hands on the ball. Now we're going to push the ball a little bit further away as we drop the chest over the right knee. Good. Roll the ball back to the middle. Push the ball away from you a little bit more. And then we're going to round up and stack that spine. Good. So left hand on the ball, we're running down the left inner thigh. Roll the ball down that left leg. Bring the right arm over the top, chest over the side over the knee. Take the right arm to the ceiling. Lengthen through that neck. And then both hands on the ball, push the ball away from you, chest comes over the knee. Breathing through that stretch. And then roll the ball back to the center. And again, pushing the ball away from you a little bit more so we can feel it both sides through that inner thigh. And then we're rounding back up and stacking that spine. Excellent. Okay, so we're coming onto our knees again. Just while we're getting ready and in position, this stretch, which I know is hard work to get the stretch through the hip flexor psoas muscle, but when we're doing a lot of sitting, like computer work, driving, whatever, these muscles get really tight and they attach lumbar spine, so they also can cause a lot of back pain. And of course now where we're not able to get out as much as possible, these muscles are getting tight, so bear with the horribleness of the stretch. So knee to the inside of that ball. Give the ball a hug. Slide that right leg back. Keep the top of the foot on the floor at the moment till you start to feel a little pull down that right side. You're driving the right hip to the floor as you tuck the toe underneath you and you're straightening through that right leg. Heel towards the floor. And then if you want to increase it slightly, you can come up onto the ball. But the aim is to feel it down the right hip flexor, so top of the right leg, all the way up to the inside of the pelvis there. I'm holding that for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the right foot to the floor. I can see it's getting easier for you all to hold that stretch now anyway, so that's a good job. So we're placing the right knee to the inside of that ball. Give the ball a hug. Don't lift up yet. Just slide that foot back to keep the top of the foot on the floor. Good. Once you start to feel the pull through the left side, drive that left hip down, tuck the toe underneath you, and then we're straightening through the leg, taking the heel to the floor. And of course, if you want to increase it, we can just lift up and keep driving that left hip down towards the floor for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can push straight up from here, but if not, drop the knee down. We're coming up to standing, holding the ball in front of you, straight through the legs, feet are hip width apart. And we're just going to push the ball forward. At the same time, we're taking the tailbone back, so we're reaching back over our heels. Push the ball away, drop the head down between the arms. And again, we're just pretty much stretching every muscle. We've got calves and hamstrings, lower back, all the way up the sides, the shoulders, and the arms. Good. Soften through the knees. Round that back up. We can leave the ball on the floor. Stack that spine. Excellent work, everyone. Good.